Hi guys, and Happy New Year. Welcome to the first video of 2016. I know I've been off the radar a little bit the last 10 days or so, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes, so stay tuned for big news, lots of cool videos, and some really cool announcements to come. Really happy with all the support I've been getting over the holidays. Thank you to everyone who sent me messages and purchased the mats, etc., and dice from us. Thank you for that. This video is a tutorial video. It wasn't my original intention to do this one just yet, but I've had a lot of comments and people asking on different techniques, etc., on the Harad building, which I'm actually not finished painting yet, but I'll just show you. If you've been looking at the Facebook page, you'll have seen this, just laying down all the base colours and trying some different techniques on the textures for the walls, etc. So this is the kind of thing that we're going to try and achieve, with a few little twists, because this next building is going to be more of a substantial build. It's got a few more techniques in it. So if you've done the build with me for the Rowan ruined house, a lot of the techniques which you use there will come into play in this, and you'll learn some new ones. So I'm going to get prepared, get all my bits and bobs together, and I'll come back to you in a second and we can get stuck in. Okay guys, I've started to mark out my base. I'm using a 6mm MDF base. Again, this is totally up to yourself what you use as a base, whether you use the MDF, whether you use 6mm foam card, 5mm foam card, or you can even use offcuts of plastic. You can use plastic card, whatever you like. I'm using MDF. Quick reason as to why: over the last few projects that I've done, especially when building with foam products like foam card, foam core, blue foam, the styrofoam stuff, because it's so light, you need some weight in there, for the simple reason that when you game with it, I mean, amongst other reasons, but when you're gaming with it, if you've got a piece of scenery which is very light and it's made out of all foam, so the base is foam, etc., and there's not much weight to it, unless you can attach it to the board somewhere using blue tack, using Velcro or something like that, I find that it's very easy to knock it when you're moving your miniatures, and you can knock it out of the way, and if there's miniatures on it, they'll fall over, and it just causes nightmares really. I mean, it's not life or death, but if you can get a bit of weight into the scenery, it just helps a lot. I will still use pieces of blue tack or another way to weight things down, as well as the base, just to add that little bit extra. So that's just a little tip for you. If you can get the MDF, then I do recommend that you use it, because it just will help you no end, not just on the building side but on the gaming side. So onto the dimensions that I'm going to use. As I said before, we're going to be building a Harad style house, which can be used for, you can use it for your Haradrim, you can use it for your Easterlings, you can use it for your a Carned village. If you're not using it for Lord of the Rings, you can just use it for any sort of Middle Eastern type village building. And the beauty of like this style of building, you can use it for your bolt action stuff. So it's like, in like World War II era, or it can be like sort of Afghanistan modern era. The style of these sort of village hut house type things have not changed too much over the years, so you can sort of use it for different gaming systems. So let's get on to the actual dimensions that I'm using. Now, how well it's showing up on camera there, I'll try and get it a little bit closer. What you can see, I've marked out rectangular shape here, which is 150mm from front to back and 90mm from left to right. Made sure all the corners are perfectly square. I then have a gap of 45mm, again running perfectly parallel, so it's 45mm separation there and at the bottom, and then a smaller rectangle which is 40mm wide by 120. Now this second smaller rectangle, you can pretty much have it wherever you want. all will be revealed later as to why that is, but for this particular build, it's 25. I've started at 25mm forward from the back of the larger one. If you want to copy this build exactly, then that's fine, you can do that. This isn't a build with me, I'm just going to show you stage by stage what I'm doing, and I'm just going to crack on with it. If you want to follow it, great, but yeah, you don't have to have it 25mm, you could have it back at the same area where the back of the main building is, you can have it forward, you can have it wherever you want. But for this purpose, on this build, for what I want to achieve, I've got it 45mm gap between the two, and it's 25mm further down than the bigger rectangle. What I am now going to do, I'm going to build my main structure for the walls. I'm going to be using 5mm foam card, and I'll come back once I've done that. Okay guys, here I am at the next stage. I've cut all my foam card, put all the outer walls on. This is basically the outer structure done. It took me about an hour to get everything. There was a few little intricacies where I had to just chop and change a couple of things, but nothing major. As you can see, it's a dual level building. The bottom half in here is all going to be open plan. There's going to be no doors. It basically, as it is there now, is how the finish is going to be. There's going to be an upper level. As you can see, I've put these balsa strips in that's going to support the floor, which is going to rest inside. I'm not going to put the floor in yet because I need to texture using filler all the outside of the walls, and if I put the floor in, I'm not going to be able to get inside at the bottom to get there, so the floor will go in secondary. But yeah, so there's going to be a floor there. This roof area is going to be removable, so you can play inside. Access to that is through the stairs, and yeah, it's coming along. It's looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do, I'm now going to work out how the roof finish is going to look. I'm also going to have some like a fancy flagging area on the base, just to add another bit of detail. But generally, I'm fairly happy with how that's looking. Scale wise, the stairs, you've got a nice, every third stair you've got a nice step that will fit a base on, so you can fight up the stairs, etc. Everything's pre-measured. Oh, Warrior Ministirith falling through. Everything's pre-measured, so you know the minis fit nicely in the doorways, etc. And yeah, I've purposely left these at 45mm so cavalry can go through. So yeah, so I'm going to crack on, and I'll probably be back in about an hour, but for you guys it'll be half a second, so I will see you in a minute. Right, so as you can see, I've made a little bit more progress. What I did when I'm texturing these buildings, I either used a polyfiller and go straight onto the plastic card, but I'm trying out a slightly different technique for this building because I don't want it to look exactly like the other building. The other building's going to be more of a, how can I say, a second class citizen like hovel, whereas this is more of a nobleman, maybe a knight's building, something like that. So it's going to have much more of a like an Artex finish to it. So I've done a mix of water and filler with some grit sand in it. Got it quite water, I've put a coat on. It's going to take a couple of coats to get the effect that I want. I've added this pathway using blue foam as flags, just to add another bit of detail to it. When everything's dry, I'm going to PVA and grit the base. Obviously it's going to be like sat on a sand type, but yeah, I'm fairly happy with how it's turning out. This top's going to be removable, and then the inner floor there is not going to be removable. That's going to be secured in position, and then obviously you can get underneath, etc. I'm going to put some scatter scenery in there, furniture, maybe a rug or something, just to add to it. As you can see with the roof piece, which is removable, what I did, I cut my first piece, which overhangs, which is 10mm wider and deeper than the building itself, so it can sit on top. And then I cut another piece, which is about 4mm narrower than the opening, so that, and then glued it to the top, and then what that does, that drops in and it just holds it nice and secure, and that's it. So yeah, it's getting there now. The next stage is going to be obviously just waiting for everything to dry, and then I'm going to grit and base the bottom, put another coat of the mix on there, and then I'll start putting some colour on there. So we'll probably come back at that stage when I've got the base colours on and you have a better idea of where we're at. Might have the some of the internal furniture done, but overall I'm very happy with how this is turning out. I hope you're enjoying the video. So yeah, so we'll come back in the next stage. It's a very quick video, so at the end of the video I'll probably go over what the next projects are going to be and how you guys can get involved. Okay, so I'll speak to you in a second. Okay guys, we're just at the next stage here. You can see I've put down some base colours and done a little bit of highlighting on the building. Just experimenting with the base, so the colours don't look too much like the building. I know it's all going to be like a sand coloured effect. Still sort of messing around with that and the flag work. But yeah, that's the stage we're at now. So I think what I'll do is I'll just come back once this is finished and I've got the internal furniture in there and the paint job's finished. I'm not going to go too crazy on the paint job, just for the simple reason that I've got a lot of buildings to make for my tournament in July. So I'm going to get them all to a tabletop standard, and if they stick to my schedule, it should leave me plenty of time. So then what I'll do is I'll go back over them and start adding details to them and brush it, sort of touching up on the paint jobs and just making them look a little bit better. But I want to have them all done and ready well in advance of the tournament. I don't want to be leaving things till the last minute, and I've got quite a lot to do. So yeah, so it is a basic paint job, but when I say basic, they're still going to be shaded, they're still going to be highlighted, they are still going to look finished, but there's just going to be, you know, I'm not going to go too crazy on them. I just don't have the time as of yet. If that time comes, then I will do. So yeah, we'll come back in a second with the finished article, and yeah, that'll be. I'll explain where I'm going from there onto the next buildings, etc. So I'll see you in a second. Okay guys, I've done a bit more highlighting, some shading, etc. Just in the process of putting some green stuff additions to it, so I've got a couple of pots to go on, there's a rug in there, I've got some more furniture to go inside, but that's pretty much it as far as the painting goes, etc. So, you know, that's the finished article, barring a few little bits and bobs, but I'll put some pictures up on the Facebook group once everything's on it. I'm going to go ahead and carry on building another few more Harad buildings. If you have any ideas for different types of Harad buildings or any resources with pictures of Harad buildings, do link them to me in the comments below. Always interesting to get another look at things. And yeah, let me know what you think. If you're having a go at these also, make sure you let me know. Post some pictures up on the Facebook group so I can have a look. It's always good to get inspiration of each other also. So keep on gaming guys, it's been a fun video doing for you, and yeah, I'll see you all soon. Keep gaming, bye bye.